Hi everybody, it's Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio, and I am so happy to have you with me today. It's Saturday at noon and we're going to make a little craft. I'm going to do another one of the oil pastels. I really enjoy doing those, and I think that they're very easy for you to learn, and I highly encourage you to get you some oil pastels and draw along with me. Anyway, let me click on this, and when you jump on, I'd really appreciate it if you'd say hi, tell me where you're looking from, where you're watching me from. I'd love to get some comments and know that you're here and that my comments are actually on and that I'm actually live at the moment, because a lot of times you can't tell. Facebook's funny about what they will and don't show, and sometimes I don't see the comments at all till after the fact. So when you're here, if you would, please just hop on and say, hey, I'd love to hear from you. Now, if you've been watching, it's July, and we are in the middle of our vacation Bible school. And Wednesday at 8, we're going to be doing another great story. This week, we're going to do Samson and Delilah. And if you haven't downloaded your printout yet, then you need to go ahead and go on to the page and find the printout for this, for Vacation Bible School, Samson and Delilah. Print it out and be ready to go when we start on Wednesday at 8. Today, we are going to make a little pastel, but I did want to show you a couple of the things that I've got coming up for August. I've been working on some of the kids' kits, and we've got a really cool little sandcastle that I'm going to put out there for the kids' kits. Also, a beautiful mermaid that I'm putting out this time. There's going to be a cute little octopus on there, too. And then we've got a really cool looking boat. How about that? And then those, if you're not into the ocean theme or something, well, then you can do a little desert look. I've got one of those too. So if you like cactuses in the desert, well, then there's one for you too. Anyway, let's get on with today's craft. I don't want to take up too much time talking about what's coming up. Let's talk about what's happening now. Okay, I'm going to tilt you down so that you can see my little area here. Let me see. It doesn't look like I've got it completely. Oop, sorry about that. Somehow I clicked that off. Not wanting to click finish, that's for sure. I'm trying to tilt it. Has that got it? Get this big bottle out of the way. There we go. That makes a huge difference. So I will be using baby oil, and I'll be using Q-tips. I'm going to use my oil pastels, and I've already taped down. This is watercolor paper, 144 pound, just the regular stuff that you get from Michael's. You can also get it from Hobby Lobby. You can order it from Amazon. Oops, there went a couple of water bottles. Anyway, it's just regular watercolor paper. I have cut the sheet in half just to make, just for time, so that it doesn't take me too long to do this with you. And I've taken a piece of painter's tape, and I've drawn a circle and cut it out, and I've just cut one little end of it off so that when we get going here, you're going to see exactly what that's going to be. So let's get this open and get started. I'm going to start off with some yellow up at the top here, and I'd like a kind of a darker looking yellow, not too yellow. Oh, there, that light went off. Let me try that again. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to start off right up here with some yellow and just put it in here, right at the top. And that was using chrome yellow. And then from there, I'm going to move into a little bit of an orange. This is yellow orange, so that's sort of fitting. Goes right along with the chrome yellow. A little bit of yellow orange. I'm going to add that in here. And from there, I'm going to add a darker orange, just regular orange. And we're going to put that down along here. Very quick and simple. And now I'm going to get some purple. Which we got here? Violet. I've got some violet. Now back here for the violet, I'm also going to put some more of this orange back in here. But for right now, what I want to show you, what I'm going to start here is, now I'm going to put the violet right here, a little bit right in there, a darker. And I'm going to grab this hyacinth violet. Put a little bit of that right in here. And I'm going to get a dark blue. I'm going to take this orange, put a little more orange over here. Have that kind of going that way. I'm going to take a dark blue now. I'm going to use this Prussian blue. And I'm going to bring this up, bring it down, bring it back up, bring it down, and make it come up just a little bit right in here. I'm going to add some more of this lighter purple. What was this one again? Hyacinth violet. Hyacinth violet. And I'm just going to take the Prussian blue and come on down through here like this. Make that all blue down in here. And then I'm going to finish it off with some black at the bottom. Just filling it in. Hey, when you hop on, jump on and say hi. I'd love to know that you're out there. I can see that there's some people with me, but I can't. It's not showing me I can't see the little circles. I'm trying to look at the computer at the same time to see if maybe that's showing and I'm just not able to see it. But I appreciate you being here with me today. I really, truly do. I'm just going to move these over right there now. What I'm going to do is a little trick that I find that makes blending oil pastels much, much easier. What I do is I get my baby oil. Now, it doesn't have to be baby oil. You can use any kind of oil because this is an oil pastel. I wouldn't recommend cooking oil, but you could try it. Baby oil works. It's petroleum. Okay, so what I'm doing is just putting the smallest amount in the cap. Just a teeny tiny amount because it really doesn't take much at all. And I'm going to put my Q-tip in it, and then I'm going to take my Q-tip and roll it off to the side and try to get most of it off because you do not want to saturate your paper with the baby oil, but you want enough on there to where it's going to, well, let me just show you what it does. It's like magic what it does. You just start very lightly rubbing. Now, if you've ever worked with an oil pastel, you know that a lot of times that takes quite a bit of elbow grease to get that to blend together really easy and very pretty. But when you use the baby oil, it just blends together so easily. Now, I'm just going to keep using it here. I'm taking my finger and holding it down just a little bit right in here, but you do not have to do that. I can turn it over and use this side. And we'll get a little bit of that yellow-orange blended in right here, coming across the sky. Just pulling it in. And now I'm going to just keep working my way down. I'm going to get a little more oil. Just a smidge. And I'm going to work right into this bright orange. Pull it along here. Bring up a little bit into the sky over here. Just a little. Just going to bring it along. I'm going to flip this over and use another side. Once again, squeezing the oil out of the Q-tip. And I'm just going to continue blending. Working on this orange first before I start getting into that purple, but I'm going to just move that purple right along with it. Bring this over here. And this just smooths right in, and we're going to pull it right up to the edge of the tape that I've placed on there. Just pulling it right along into it. And I'm going to move a little bit of the purple into the orange here by just easy blending. The Q-tip doesn't seem like it's got much Q to the tip. Not much cotton on these. Okay, well, maybe I'm not getting enough. Let me get a little more. I don't want to saturate it though. That's the one thing I do not want to do, is saturate the paper. It takes it too long to dry, and it breaks it down too much. So, get that. There we go. That's better. Blend this light purple right here. Just kind of bringing it along. I'm going to turn this over and just sort of blend this right up into the orange a little. Push that back down. My tape's trying to come loose. Sort of just get a little bit of that purplish color up in here a little. Okay, now back to this blue. And I'm just blending this in. Using this Q-tip. It was an indication there. I'm not sure what it said. I'll check that in a moment. Oh, I forgot to turn my sound off, so let's see. There we go. Just blending this across through here. Pulling that oil right out of there. Bringing it right up onto the edge. I want to get it all the way to the side, just as far as I can. I've got my tape down, so I'll pull that off at the end and show you the big reveal, which is going to be really pretty when we get it done. Okay, now we're just going to mix the black in. Bringing it on down right through here. I'm just taking this and pressing it with my finger. I'm going to get a little more on this one. And this doesn't have to be a straight line. It doesn't matter. We're going to add some more elements to this. Just give us a second here. Turn this over. The more oil you have, the easier and quicker it is to blend, but you do not want to get a bunch of oil all over it. It will make your paper curl up too much. It will break it down. You don't want to have too much oil. So when you're doing this, if you do this, you just want to get a little oil on it, enough to make it blend. It doesn't need to be saturating it. You can see it comes like, you know, you can see how easily it'll wipe off. But now we've got our base back here. We've got our background. So what we're going to do next is we're going to wipe our hand. And then we're going to add just a little bit of this color in right in here. Just kind of drawing some thin lines using that. We're going to take the lighter purple and just make a couple of thin lines moving through there. I'm going to blend that one just a little bit more, maybe over here. Just a little bit of just a little bit of the sky, you know, just a little bit. Hey, Carol, good afternoon. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We were just getting going, actually. I've got a few things I wanted to add to it. We're going to move it along here. What I'm going to do next, I think I'm going to stop putting, I could put a little more. Let's see. Let me take this. Where's that bright yellow? I've got a really light yellow over here. And we'll kind of, that might be too light. Yeah, I think it is. It doesn't show. Okay, that's all right. We're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do here is we're going to peel off the paper. Stay down there. Okay, so now we've got this perfect, not perfect, not nowhere near perfect actually, but we've got this nice, I'm just going to barely take my finger and just blend this in just a tiny bit with this purple here. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do right here in the middle is I'm going to make this chrome yellow, just like up here. I'm going to make this part of it chrome yellow. I'm going to try to keep from touching that edge there, because that'll drag other colors into it, and I'm really not wanting to do that. But I'm also going to try to get just as close as I can to filling in this whole area with this chrome yellow. Trying to get it right over to the edges of it. And I'm going to knock off the excess of it. Okay. Get that off of there. Just get that off of there. And now I'm going to add in just a smidge of vermilion. Back here in the sky, I'm going to add just a little bit of this reddish. Vermilion is the name of this color. Vermilion. Okay, take my finger. Well, let's take a clean finger. That helps. I'll tell you, that helps if you're using the clean finger and not the one that's already got purple all over it. And we're just going to kind of work this vermilion in a little bit. We don't need it to be all completely blended in. We want it to kind of be on the top and sort of standing out just a little bit. A little bit darker. And then we're going to take this and trying to use just the edge. Maybe if I, no, better not do that. I don't want to break my oil pastel. And we're going to make it, we're going to fill in this edge that we left open with this vermilion. Even going across right here. Just very, very lightly filling that in. Trying not to get those other colors pulled in yet. Okay. Could I use you? No, I'm not going to use you. And I'm going to get just a little bit more oil on here. Squeeze it out. Squeeze out some more. All right. And I'm going to start here in the middle. And I'm going to blend it towards the outside. Trying to keep the middle as yellow as possible. I'm quiet, I'm sorry. There I go, thinking again. And that's the danger zone, guys. When I get to thinking. Here we go. Just trying to preserve that yellow. I'm using the clean end of a Q-tip that hasn't been dipped in nothing at this point. And just trying to bring out the just plain yellow of it. And pull the yellow outward, pushing it outward without really trying to get any of it on the inside. I'm going to get a little bit of white. Make sure that it's pretty and white. I'm wiping it off over here on the edge of my other papers over here, trying to get the other colors that were on it before off. I'm just going to put a little bit of white in the middle. To lighten it up. Just a little bit, not too much. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this red and just sort of Just kind of drag it in just a little bit. And I'm using the oil now. I'm putting the oil on top of where I added the vermilion. I'm just very, very lightly touching it. Very lightly touching the vermilion. Just sort of dragging it on there. Very light. Okay, so now we've got the background all done. Everything's done here in the background. Oh, thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we're done with this portion of it. It still needs a little something, though, so what we're going to do now is we're going to desert it up. I'm going to get one of my pencils. Let me find a 2B. There we go. 2B. Now, if you remember last week, we talked about what is the B and what is the H. The H stands for hardness, the B stands for blackness. An HB is the same thing as a number 2 pencil. So a 2B is going to be a little bit blacker than a regular number 2 pencil. And that's what I want, because once you start getting into the 4B and the 6B, it becomes easier smudged. I don't want this to smudge. I just want it to draw on here for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of desert fun. You saw my little kids kit that I showed earlier. Today we're going to have a little desert fun right here and add a couple of cactuses to it using this 2B. Just filling it in. The B stands for the blackness, the darkness of it. It's more of like a charcoal. Okay, just filling that in. Coloring that up right there. All right. And we're just going to kind of bring this down through here too, because we need it to kind of move along down in here to add a little more of the darkness to it. So I'm just going to very quickly fill this part in. And then we'll bring it over here. And let's say we've got one of those paddle type cactuses right here. Maybe another one. And let's put one right there by it. We don't know. And then these got those little hairs that stick out on them. So we'll just put a couple of little prickly, because this is called a prickly pear. And if you've ever had one sticky, you know exactly why it's called the prickly pear. They are quite prickly. We have some. And they are very easy to grow. Actually, they can stay out all year long, but they do need to be in the elements where they can get some water. Okay, so now we got the prickly pear on there, and we're going to come on over here using our pencil, just filling in down here at the bottom, making this a little bit darker black. I'm trying to do it pretty quick for you here. Okay, and then we're going to make... I probably should have started over here so my hand wouldn't drag, but that's okay. We're going to make a... skinny cactus. Fill him in right there. Skinny little cactus growing up. Probably shouldn't make him so rounded. Make him a little... about more like that. Not quite as skinny as I had intended, but that's okay. And then we'll make another one right here next to him that's not as tall. A little buddy for that cactus. Here's his little buddy. standing next to him. They're growing together. Okay, and then we'll come over here a little ways and we'll make another cactus, and we'll give this one the two arms. Let's get this filled in over here. Trying to keep my hand off of it. My hand's got a little bit of blue on the bottom of it. And if you don't make it real pointy at the bottom, it looks okay too. It doesn't have to have that real sharp curve to the bottom of your cactus. That all cactuses are not the same. We had a wonderful trip. Arizona. We went to Colorado, and it was beautiful out in there, and all the well, Colorado wasn't really desert, but Arizona was desert, and it was beautiful there. And Colorado was absolutely beautiful too. It was all on the same trip that we did that, and that was such a neat trip. I really, really enjoyed that. We also went to New Mexico. We went all over the place. That was one of those trips where we drove. It was a 2-week trip, and that was really fun. We saw a lot that year. We saw a lot, and we went from basically every elevation, and we even went into a lava cavern, lava cave. It was very, very cool. We took let's see. Should I add any more? Maybe I should stop. Nah, we'll put one more. We'll put one more over here. We'll put one, that kind of comes up, and we'll give him a kind of little crookedy arm. And just a little starter right there. We went to the Grand Canyon that year. We stayed on both sides of the Grand Canyon, on the South Rim and on the North Rim. We went all over the place, actually. We went everywhere. That was a wonderful trip. It's been quite a few years ago now, but it really, really implanted itself in my memory and how it looked there. We went to the Valley of the Gods. We went to all kinds of places, actually. That was a heck of a trip. Like to go again, although next time I think our next big trip will be Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and over in that particular portion of the states. Okay, guys, there we go. I think that's enough cactuses on there. I don't think I need to just keep drawing cactus after cactus. We get the idea. It's a pretty little desert scene, so let's stop with it. The more I mess, the more I end up mucking, and I don't want to muck it up. Huh. So let me put this stuff back in here real quick. Get this put out of the way, and I'm going to give you guys the big reveal, as usual. All right, so starting down here at the bottom, we're going to pull it off. Whoop, missed one. There we go. Blow that extra little bit of graphite, charcoal, whatever, pencil. Get that little bit of pencil off of there. So there we have it, guys. Here's our oil pastel of the day. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun making it. I think it turned out really pretty. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to be there on Wednesday. We're going to do Samson and Delilah. Bye, guys. See you soon.